Good afternoon, everyone. It's going to be a busy weekend for all the cricket lovers. Just few matches left in the league stage of IPL 2020. Two games today. The Delhi Capitals will meet the Mumbai Indians in the first game in Dubai, and the RCB will meet the Sunrisers Hyderabad in Sharjah in the evening game. Welcome to Power Play. I'm Akin Khan, and with me, Mr. Expert Prasen Maudgal. Good afternoon, Prasen. Saturday, enjoying Saturday afternoon.
Hi, Afreen. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of cricket action to look forward to. The points table is wide open, and two very
Absolutely.
important matches in the context of the time points table today. So yeah, very excited for the matches.
But it's a very important game for the Delhi Capitals. They're coming into this game with three straight losses against the lower placed teams. They started off well, but they're looking off color in last few games. What can the DC do?
More than what they can do, I think they need to back themselves to come good because in the first half of IPL, it just seemed like they were unstoppable. They had 5 wins from 7 matches, and now suddenly, as you mentioned, they've fallen to 3 consecutive losses, and that's really dented their push for a spot in the
Hmm.
playoffs. If they lose today, it might be very hard for them to come back strong and put up a good show against RCB in the last league stage encounter. So today's match is very very important for them because they need to get their side together. The batsmen need to come good. Rabada and Ashwin have looked off color in the last few games, so they need to come good. Overall, the Delhi Capitals are looking a relatively sad side. They haven't been able to find a source of inspiration, and I'll actually be surprised if they continue to play Ajinkya Rahane at the top. I think they might just bring back Prithvi Shaw for this match, but a lot for them to think of, and they definitely need to bring out their A game, considering that the Mumbai Indians are looking very very strong.
Proceed the matches which the DC lost, they lost with big margins. They lost to KKR by 59 runs. They lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad by 88 runs. How do they motivate themselves to come out good in front of the mighty Mumbai Indians, which is the first team to reach the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that will be key for them because they know for a fact that the Mumbai Indians will want to come strong. Again, the Mumbai Indians obviously won't be happy with just having qualified. If they win today's match, they know that they're guaranteed a top spot. One among the top two. So, of course, that Mumbai Indians will look to put up their best performance. And for the Delhi Capitals to find a way to beat this Mumbai Indians side is going to be pretty hard. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's what makes this contest a lot more interesting. A lot on offer. Delhi Captains need a win to, obviously push their chances of making the playoffs. Mumbai Indians, on the other hand, they need a win which can take them to the top two. So a lot on offer, and the Delhi Capitals need to find some sort of inspiration. Rishabh Pant, I think, needs to come good in this game. There's been a lot of criticism about how slow he's been in this tournament, and today he really, really needs to come good for his side.
All looks good for the Mumbai Indian team. They just want their captain Rohit Sharma to be back. He's still not. The news from the toss is Mumbai have opted to bowl first. They'll be bowling first. And good thing for the Delhi Capitals to bat first because last few matches, as I mentioned earlier, they lost chasing. So something good to go out there, express themselves, have a good decent score, and then try and defend it.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the problem is that the batting unit is not clicking. And against the Mumbai Indians side, which is looking very good on paper with the ball, three of their bowlers are in the top 10, including Rahul Chahar. So now the Delhi Capitals will obviously bat with a little bit more freedom, knowing that they need to set a big total. The pressure of chasing won't be on them. So I think this is the best chance for them really to put on a good score and challenge the Mumbai Indians unit. I think they have a few changes as well. I see Pattinson has been replaced by Coulter-Nile, and Jayant Yadav also comes into the side. So some interesting changes there. They obviously want to test their bench strength, and they
There's
want
no
to.
Hardik
Um,
Pandya today
there's
in
no
the
Hardik
team.
Pandya.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So that's
there's no Hardik
surprising.
Pandya
Maybe
there. Hmm.
Maybe a niggle or
No, I
something for
think
him.
given that he hasn't bowled, he's obviously carrying an injury, and they don't
Hmm.
want to risk him, considering that they've already qualified for the playoffs. So
True,
I
true,
think there's
true.
nothing, it's not surprising that they've benched him. But yeah, look, I mean, speaking about the Delhi Capitals, is their best chance of putting up a good show because they don't have the pressure of chasing on them, and they'll want to put up a good performance with the bat and challenge the Mumbai Indians batting unit.
Talking about changes, Delhi Capitals have also made two changes as we were expecting. Prithvi Shaw's in place of
Yeah.
Ajinkya Rahane, and we see Praveen Dubey coming in. No Akshar Patel in the playing 11.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why they've removed Akshar Patel because he was probably bowling better than Ashwin also over the last 2 3 games. But
Hmm.
yeah, that they're probably looking for that extra wrist spin option because we've seen the Mumbai Indians have struggled against wrist spinners. So Praveen Dubey
Hmm.
making his debut is good for the side. I think they're looking for some change, looking for some inspiration, and they've got back Prithvi Shaw at
Absolutely.
the top of the order. Ajinkya Rahane wasn't working for them despite all the experience he brings to the table. He still wasn't as explosive as Prithvi Shaw could be. So that's a tactical change they've made, and I think they've made the right one because now batting first,
Hmm.
Delhi will need to put up a good score, and for that, someone like Prithvi Shaw will need to get going. And I think they've also brought back Harshal Patel in place of Tushar
Yes.
Deshpande. So yeah,
Hmm.
Tushar was obviously expensive, and he, despite a promising start, he started leaking too many runs, and I think they've obviously looked at that and made the change. But yeah, interesting that there are so many changes in both the teams because there is a lot on offer, and they will want to put in the best foot forward. So yeah, Delhi need to start strong, otherwise they could definitely be in a whole world of trouble.
So let's quickly have a look at the fantasy team for the first game, Prasen.
Yeah, the second team. Okay, so this is the fantasy side. We've got Ishan Kishan, Quinton de Kock, Shreyas Iyer, Shikhar Dhawan, Suryakumar Yadav, Stoinis, Krunal Pandya, Andrik Nokia, Kaisa Rabada, and Jasprit Bumrah. Look, we've taken a punt quite a few times by picking bowlers as our captain and vice captain, and that's worked out pretty well. Our fantasy expert Sunat has often picked a perfect team, and I think this is a very very good looking team. There's no overbalance of Mumbai Indians players, and we've got 6-5 ratio, which is good to see. But look, I mean, Shikhar Dhawan has to come good for Delhi. He had 2 half centuries, followed it up with 2 centuries, but in the last 2 games he's got 6 and 0, so he really needs to come to the party. Ishan Kishan and Quinton de Kock, they will be opening the batting again, so they'll need to come good while chasing. But this match isn't really about the Mumbai Indians if you think of it, because Mumbai, they definitely will be targeting that top two, but they just need one win out of the remaining 2 matches. So they're pretty much in a comfortable position. This match is all about the Delhi Capitals, and for them to do well, their captain Shreyas Iyer and Shikhar Dhawan need to come good. And there's never a better occasion to come good than a match where you have a whole lot of pressure on your shoulders. So we're expecting them to come good. Marcus Stoinis, obviously, they tried him out at number 3 in the last game during a huge chase, but that didn't
Hmm.
really pay well for them. Um, but he's a champion finisher. He's someone who can also chip in with overs, and that's why we've picked him. Kahiso Rabada, last match, he was very expensive, 4 overs, 54 runs, and didn't take a single wicket. But he'll be itching to come back. He's a purple cap holder. He's always guaranteeing you points with wickets. So he'll be a valuable pick. And Andrik Nokia, obviously, he's been a great addition to the Delhi Capitals unit. So he bowls straight, he bowls fast, and I think that pace is something that will really, really help him today against the Mumbai Indians. So Bumrah is obviously there because you can't leave him out. Last match, I think he took 3 for 14 against RCB, if I'm not wrong, and really broke the backbone of that side. So yeah, I think Shikhar Dhawan and Shreyas Iyer will be key, but overall a very good looking team. What do you feel?
Absolutely, absolutely. Good to see a bowler again, being the captain.
Yeah.
That's what our expert is doing in making bowlers the captain of the team. Thank you so much for the team, Prasen. Quickly, just tell us what's the score the DC would be having in mind, considering Mumbai Indians is a very bat-heavy team. They, on a given day, they can chase down whatever total the batting first team makes. But what is the total the DC will be having in mind to be in a comfortable position to defend?
I mean, look, they're playing in a they're playing in a ground where no total has been successfully been defended, been chased down. It's a very different sort of surface in Dubai. So, and look, you spoke about how the Mumbai Indians batting looks very good. So the Delhi Capitals will need to put up anywhere close to 180, 190 to actually have a sniff at this Mumbai Indians batting unit, because we've seen if Ishan Kishan doesn't show up, Quinton de Kock will show up. If he doesn't, Surya Kumar Yadav will. If he doesn't, Krunal Pandya will. If he doesn't, Pollard will. And that list is endless in this team. And that's why the Delhi Capitals need to put up a huge score. If they don't, then they might not even be close to winning this match.
So the prediction for today, Delhi or Mumbai, which capital? The financial capital or actual the capital?
Yeah, I'm probably going with the financial capital today because they are looking in form, and obviously a lot of pressure on the Delhi Capitals, and unless one of them puts in a very special performance, I don't see them really beating this Mumbai Indians side. So, sorry, yeah, they don't seem like beating this Mumbai Indians side, and that's why I'm going with MI for this match.
All right. So talking about the second game between the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Sunrisers Hyderabad, it's going to be curtains for Hyderabad if they lose this one, whereas a win for RCB will take them closer to the playoffs, probably a ticket to playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, the equation is pretty simple. If you lose one, you're out. If you win two, you're guaranteed a spot in the top three because their net run rate is phenomenal. I think it's plus point
Hmm.
396 or something like that. And, they're looking great. And obviously, they'll be hoping to pick up wins. In the last game, we saw how Ridhiman Saha and Warner were very aggressive up front, and that really fueled their performance in the last game, and they'll be hoping to repeat the same, and that came against a good Delhi Capitals unit. So uh, coming to the game, obviously they're facing RCB. The RCB bowlers have looked hot and cold in the season so far, but it'll all come down to the two batting units really, because the Sunrisers Hyderabad don't have too many bowlers they can rely on. RCB on the other hand have been slightly inconsistent with their bowling, so it'll just come down to the batting units, and which batting unit does better than the other. So yeah, I think a very important match in the context of the points table, as you mentioned, because RCB, if they win, it's a ticket to the playoffs. Sunrisers, on the other hand, they hope to win and win big, because if they lose, they can't make the playoffs, whatever it is. So yeah, it's a very important match.
RCB is also coming into this game with two losses. They looked extremely mediocre batting first. They could manage only 145 against the CSK and 164 against the Mumbai Indians. Looks like they'll
Yeah.
have to do some good homework before the playoffs.
Absolutely. See, I mean, it's never easy to win a match when you're under pressure and you've come in on the back of two losses. So, yeah, it's important for them to actually come good, and they need to figure out what resources they have. I think they made a good selection by playing, Josh Felipe alongside Devdutt Padikkal in the last game. And such moves only pay off, and they'll be hoping to see the youngsters deliver again today, because it can't be all about Kohli and De Villiers. The bowling unit has done well. Chris Morris's addition has proved to be fruitful, but they will need to come good, because the Sunrisers batting unit is coming into the game on the back of some really good form with Saha and Warner, and obviously Manish Pandey as well, doing well for them. But they'll be hit by the absence of Vijay Shankar. There's no doubt, because he's been ruled out of IPL, and they'll probably need to find a replacement, someone who can bowl a bit and also bat. So yeah, it's a very important match for RCB.
All right, people are asking for the fantasy team. Please, Prasen, let's start with the fantasy team for the second game.
Yeah, so this is the fantasy side we've got. Felipe makes his first entry into our fantasy side for the first
Oh.
time this season. We've got De Villiers, Williamson, Warner, Finch, Kohli, Dubey, Washington Sundar, Rashid Khan, Natarajan, and Chahal. There are reports that Aaron Finch might come in and might play in at number 5, and that's the reason we've probably backed Finch for this game. But you can never
Mhm.
say. I mean, if Moeen Ali probably comes in, or Dale Steyn wasn't good in the last game. We saw he leaked runs, and probably they might be wanting to get back either of Udana or maybe even get Aaron Finch in there somehow. But Yeah, look, Kane Williamson and David Warner, very, very important parts in their batting unit. Warner obviously coming in after that half century, and he'll be looking good. So Kane Williamson will have to perform. And similar is the case with Virat Kohli as well. He hasn't scored too much of late, and he'll be really looking to turn things up in this game. And considering it is in Sharjah, short boundaries will help. And last time we saw how AB de Villiers really took down the KKR bowlers, and that's why we've picked him as captain. And for the all-rounders, we've gone with Shivam Dube and Washington Sundar. Sundar obviously has been pretty impressive in the power play stages, so I think he's a valuable add. Rashid Khan has tormented each and every opposition. He's someone who's looked absolutely unstoppable with the ball in hand. And last match, 4 overs, 7 runs, 3 wickets. I mean, magical figures really from Rashid. So him and Natarajan will be key because they are the two bowlers looking dangerous. The rest of the SRH bowling isn't looking as dangerous as they'd like. And for RCB, Yuzvendra Chahal, obviously, he's RCB's highest wicket taker. So yeah, that'll have all the say in the surface, which is producing a little bit of spin. So overall, I think a pretty balanced team.
True. That is. Thank you for the team. Pratin, what's your prediction for the evening game? Sunrisers or the Royal Challengers Bangalore?
I mean, it's really tough to say because both teams are desperate for a win. But look, if you consider the overall scheme of things, the Sunrisers Hyderabad might have to be over reliant on Rashid Khan again, considering that these are short boundaries, and RCB look to have a slightly more balanced unit. So in a way, I feel RCB might have the advantage going into the clash.
All right. So our viewer winner is requesting for DC versus Mumbai Indians fantasy team. If you could just have it for a while, we'll just
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
So
There you have it.
here's the team.
Yeah, we got Ishan Kishan, Dickok, Shreyas Iyer, Shikhar Dhawan, Suryakumar Yadav, Saurabh Tiwari, Marcus Stoinis, Krunal Pandya, Andrik Nokia, Kahiso Rabada, and Jasprit Bumrah. Rabada as captain, wicketless in the last game, so he'll be very, very keen to perform. And Shikhar Dhawan also, 0 and 6 from the last 2 games, so he'll want to get back into form for sure.
Thank you so much, Prasin, for taking us through this team again. You backing Mumbai Indians and which teams? I'm so sorry, the
Yeah,
RCB or the
RCB for the
Sunrisers
second.
Hyderabad?
RCB for the second game. Yeah.
RCB. All right, so very important games coming up in this weekend and around the corner, like just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I feel we'll be done with the league games. So stay tuned, all of you, for more insights. And thank you so much for joining us. We will meet tomorrow again at 3 p.m. for another preview. Till then, enjoy the game. Have a super Saturday. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Bye bye. Thanks, Prasin. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.